Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. This video I'd like to show you how to make part 9 of the Crochet Along Mandala Madness by Helen Shrimpton. This part is this blue and pink, also the red here. So this is part 9. It's kind of an eye in the storm because part 8 was very detailed with these long stitches. There was just a lot happening, and part 10 is again very detailed. Part 9 is kind of a restful week, go-between week. Gives you time to catch up and to prepare yourself for part 10, which is again going to be a busy part. The yarn I'm using two kinds of yarn, Sun-Kissed by Scheepjes and Cotton 8 by Scheepjes, both cotton yarns. And I'm using that in combination with a 3mm crochet hook. Take you step by step through the rounds making up part 9. Hope it's a useful video for you. Thank you for watching. I have a new color yarn on my hook, and just to show you where we're going to start, you have here this set of, well, let me call it a flower, and you have the same of course also at another position. You've got several of these all the way around. You're going to start basically in the center of these two flowers, here in the middle, where you used to have a point, but of course now we're slowly but surely working away this point. So we're going to start here in the middle on these two single crochets from round 56. So I'm going to zoom in now, but then you know exactly which position I'm at on your mandala. So for round 58, you have here, if you look at the center between those two flowers, you see here two single crochets. You work these two single crochets around 56, so this is two rounds back. You see this is round 57 that you worked at the end of previous part, and the row just before that, you see these two single crochets you worked into a chain 1 space. And we're going to start by making a standing half double crochet around this stitch here, this first single crochet. So that's going to be a front post half double crochet. So I'm going to do a standing stitch, so a front post half double crochet around that first single crochet you have in that chain 1 space from round 50. They were let go, shouldn't do that, from round 56. And my hook's stuck in my work. There we go. Standing half double crochet front post, chain 1. And now we're going to do another half double front post around the next stitch from round 56. So that's going to be that second here, this second single crochet. So again, yarn over, so front post around that second single crochet. So this is also worked in the chain 1 space from round 55 it is then. So now you've worked two standing front post half double crochets and a chain 1 in between on those two stitches from round 56. Chain 1. And now we're going to be working on all these stitches here from round 56. So we're skipping round 57 for the moment, and we're going to work on these single crochets you have down here. So we're going to the next single crochet, and around this one we're working a front post double crochet. Double crochet. I'm going to do that again, so chain 1, just move my work a little bit, and again a front post double crochet around the next single crochet from round 56. Like so. Again chain 1, and now we're going to work a front post treble around the next, and we're going to do that 5 times, so that's going to be on all these stitches here. Twice over for the treble. Let me just get into that stitch properly. There we go. Oops, yes. So work the treble. So that was once. Chain 1. Twice over. 2, chain 1, and then the third one on the next single crochet from round 56. Take your time on these because it's very easy to just snag your hook somewhere, so I'm also doing this slowly. Chain 1. I've got a thread here. I'm very bad at working away my threads. Don't leave them till the end like I do, because you're going to regret that. And another front post treble. So now I've worked 2 half doubles, 2 doubles, and 1, 2, 3, 4 trebles. So I still need to do one more. Chain 1 and a front post treble around this last single crochet here. 3, like so. And now you've reached basically this these very long stitches that we made in round 56. So you've now reached this point, and now we're going to move up to round 57 again. So we're going to move up. Oh, my yarn is a little knotted here. We're going to move up and make a front post double crochet around this front post here from round 57. So that's going to be this stitch. This is a stitch you use to tie these 3 long stitches to bring them all together. So you're going to work a front post double crochet around that stitch. So we're making a front post double crochet around that stitch and then working on the stitches from row 57. So I'm going to make a front post double crochet around that stitch to bring to this double crochet that brought all of this together. Like so. Just turn my work. I'm continuously turning my work to just get everything in front of the camera. It is a challenge sometimes. Chain 1 and then a front post double crochet around the next stitch. So that's going to be this stitch here. No, sorry, you're skipping that stitch. Sorry, that was wrong. It says skipping a stitch and then a front post double crochet. You're going to do this 18 times. So the chain 1 and the front post double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and then a front post double crochet. And these you're all working in row 57. It's very easy to remember that between between these long stitches you're working in row 57, and outside of the flower you're working in row 56. So that was 2, chain 1, skip a stitch, and 3, chain 1, skip a stitch, and 4. You're going to do this 18 times. 5, 6, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then this is number 18, like so. So at this point you should have 1 stitch left before the front post double crochet that again here brought all these long stitches together. So you should have 1 stitch left. So go back, and if you're doubting, just count these stitches, and if something went wrong you must probably skip a stitch somewhere. So if it doesn't work out here, you skipped one too many or one too few. Chain 1, skip this last stitch, and then a front post double crochet around that front post double crochet that's bringing these long stitches together. There we go. And now we're going to come back to round 56 again. So on this side here we're going to do exactly the same as we've done on this side here. So we're going to do exactly the same but in reverse order. So we're starting with front post trebles around these stitches here, these single crochets in round 56. So front post treble around that first stitch, and be sure to get into it because these long stitches can be just slightly in the way. Going for that first, there we go, front post single crochet, and you're going to work a front post treble around it. There we 2, 3. That's your first treble. Chain 1. You're doing this 5 times again. So that was once. Around the next stitch from round 56. 2. Chain 1. And 3. Chain 1. And 4. Chain 1. And 5. There we go. And now we're doing the 5 front, we're going to do front post double crochets, 2 of those. So again, chain 1. So on the next stitch we do a front post double crochet, chain 1, that we do twice. Chain 1. And now again front post half doubles around these 2 stitches here that made up the corner. Around the first, chain 1. Oh sorry, that was a double crochet. That should be a half double. So a half double crochet. There we go. Chain 1, and then a front post half double around the next stitch, like so. If I can get that through at least. Yes, there we go. And then this stitch here, sorry if I was out of view, this stitch here is exactly the same. If we go all the way back as that stitch is where we started with. So everything you've just done, you're going to do that all the way around. So you're now going to do again 2 front post double crochets, 5 front post trebles, and then work all your front post double crochets on the back of the flower. And then I'm going to try to get everything into view, so you work at the back of the flowers, go all the way around, and when you get to the beginning, close with a slip stitch, and the next round I'll be using a new color yarn. Round 59, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and this time you're going to start at one of your flowers. If you look at your flower, right in the center of your flower, a few rounds back, you had these 3 half double crochets right in the center of your second to last row, and that's the position where you want to start. Is the chain space that's exactly above these 3. So if everything went right, there would be a chain space that's exactly in the middle here. That's the one you're going for. So you're going to start by making a standing double crochet in that chain 1 space. So run right in the middle. Chain 1 and do a second double crochet in that same space, and that is a new point that you just made there. We're now going to work in the space, or I should rather say we're going to work over the stitches and in the space, and when we work in the space we're actually going to be working in the stitches 1 row down. I'll show you how we do that, but first we make a, just move everything again. First we start by making a front post double crochet around the next stitch. That's going to be the one from round 58. So we're doing a front post double crochet around this stitch. Now we're making a treble in the stitch 1 row down. So that's going to be for me in the yellow. That's going to be around 57. And what's important is when you're making these stitches is, yes, you're working in that stitch, but what's important is that you don't catch the chain 1 space to the back, but you work in front of that chain 1 space so that it remains free. So you don't want to work over that chain 1 space. We're going to work a treble, so that's twice over, then into the stitch, and then be sure to have that chain space to the back. You see how it's to the back of my hook, so I pick up a loop and that chain space is completely free, and then I work the treble. And that's what you want. You want this chain space to remain unused to the back. So that was one. So we're going to do this 9 times. So this double crochet in the treble. So again, a front post double crochet around the next stitch. That's going to be the red one for me. And then a treble, a stitch 1 row down. And again, make sure not to take your chain space, but to leave that one untouched. So that's 2. You can see how you've got these stitches here to the back that you're leaving unused. So that was 2, and then 3, work the treble, both loops, and that is 4, 1, just check 1, 2, oh we know 1, 2, 3, no I've only done it 3 times. Going to do this 9 times in total. So you're working a treble in the space and a front post double crochet on the stitch. So you see how you're building this here. So you're going to do this 9 times. This is repeat number 8. And then this is number 9, so this is my last front post double crochet and the treble that goes with it. So there you can see you've done this 9 times. We're basically going to do the same, but just go a little bit smaller in our next steps, because these were all double crochets and trebles, and then we're going to slowly but surely move down in the stitch sizes that we're making. On these 2 stitches here, let's make 2 front post double crochets and 2 front post double crochets, and again treble in the next stitch, followed by a front post double crochet. I'm going to do this 3 times. That was once, and then this is twice. Take note that this time the double crochet is on the other side of the mini repeat. So now it's first the treble and then the double crochet, and then the front post double, like so. So you can see how I've now worked these 2 front post double crochets here on those 2 stitches that are just exactly next to one another, and then 3 times the small repeat with the treble, double, treble, double, treble, double. Your doubles are all front post doubles. Now to continue, and I'm just going to have to move everything again. Work a double crochet in the skipped stitch. So now we're going going to half a stitch smaller basically. So in the next space make a double crochet and then a front post half double crochet. And this again we're doing 3 times. So we're doing this, we need to do this 2 more times. So in the next stitch a double crochet and then the front post half double crochet. It's 2, and then in the third time a double crochet, and then a front post half double. And you see how you're making this edge here to the back completely free, because you're not working over your chain spaces but in front of them. Just work the double crochet and the front post half double, done that 3 times. Now we're again going a step smaller, and to work a half double crochet in the skipped stitch, and again bring that to the front. There we go. So a half double crochet in the skipped stitch, and it won't surprise you that you're doing a front post single crochet now, like so. I'm going to do this 2 times. So in the next skip stitch, if I can find it, just bring it to the front, and then again a front post single. Like so. There you go. Did that twice, and then a half double crochet in the skipped stitch. And now you should also be, in theory, halfway between the 2 flowers. Just pick me up in there. There we go. And now we're going to be doing the same on this side that we did on that side, but just basically in reverse order. So to continue, a front post half double crochet, followed by a double crochet in this space. I'm going to do that 3 times. That was once. Front post half double crochet and a double crochet in this space. That's 2 times, and then the 3rd time front post half double crochet and a double crochet in this space. Just move everything again. We're going to go 1 step up, so a front post double crochet and a treble in this skipped space. And again, I'm going to do this 3 times, so that's a double crochet and a treble. That's 2, and then this is number 3. Double crochet and a treble in this stitch in between. Like so. Next position you're at are these 2 stitches here next to one another, for me in the red. You're going to do 2 front post double crochets around those 2. So 1 and 2. Yep, and the flower, you're at the flower again. And now we do exactly the same on this side as the flower as we've done on that side when we just started. So we're going to work towards the center point here. I'm sorry, just have to move everything. I don't know about you, but my mandala is really getting bigger. It's just a challenge with the camera. So now we do again front post double crochets and trebles in between. So a treble in the next stitch, that skipped stitch, 1, and a double crochet, a front post double crochet on the stitch. Then again a treble in between, that's the skipped stitch, and the front post double. I'm going to do that again 9 times. That was 2 times. Get the entire stitch, not just one loop. There we go. And then this is number 3. Continue until you do 9. You've got 9. This is number 8. And this is number 9 on the repeat. It's just really important to get into that stitch properly and then bring it to the front. So this is a 9th treble, and then of course you still need the front post double crochet that goes with that. You know, basically where you started, the next space you're going to work into is into the chain 1 space that's exactly on your tip of your flower to make a new corner. So in that chain 1 space, I'm going to work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and this point is exactly the same as the point where we just started. So everything you've just done, all these stitches, and look at it from the back, you can see how you're keeping that previous row, that all those chain spaces, they're all still free. That's exactly what you want. You're going to go all the way around, and when you get to the beginning, close here with a slip stitch. I'm going to use the same color yarn in the next round, so I'm not going to cut off, but of course that's up to you. Take your time on all these stitches, make sure that you work every one beautifully in between and leave your edge at the back free. Round 60, I'm still going to use the same color yarn. Currently in this first stitch before the chain 1 space, I'm going to go with a slip stitch into the chain 1 space, like so. Now you're going to make a new corner here with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. You can either do a chain 4, 1, 2, 3 counts as your first double crochet, and then another stitch, or you can do a standing double crochet. I'm going to do a standing double crochet. There are different ways of doing that. I'm just going to show you the way that I do it. I pull it a little bit out, then pick up that loop from the back and pull through both. Chain 1, and just going to pick that thread up from the back, work a second double crochet. That's your new corner made. Now we're going to work a series of double crochets and trebles on all the way around basically. On the next stitches, work 23 double crochets. Especially this first stitch, be sure to not accidentally miss that first stitch. It's going to be 1, 2, you're working 23, 3, you see how I'm working over the thread here to the back, so then I don't have to work it in later, saves me time. 3, 4, and that is 22, and number 23. So you've now worked 23 double crochets. Going to continue, and you work 25 trebles on the next 25 stitches. So that's twice over, and work treble. So 1, and on the next stitch, so you're going to work 25 of these. And this is number 3. Continue until you have 25, 24, and 25. There we go. You've now done 25 trebles, and now you're going to again do 23 double crochets, which is going to bring you to the next corner space. So on the next stitch, work a double crochet, and you're going to do 23 of these. So this is symmetrical with the first half. It's 2, 3, 4, and then this is 22, and your last stitch, if everything goes well, number 23, is just before the chain 1 space. And then in the chain 1 you make a new corner. That's going to be a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now you're at the same point where you started, so on the next stitch you're again going to work 23 doubles, 25 trebles, 23 doubles, and then make a new corner. Go all the way around and close on your first stitch with a slip stitch, and I'm going to use a new color in the next round. Almost to the beginning, just want to show you the end of this round. I'm going to work the last 2 stitches to get to 23 double crochets, so that's on the last stitch. And then what you should not forget is that there's also a stitch still here that you closed with a slip stitch, and then you went to the chain 1 space. This stitch here, that's going to be very easy to forget, so make sure you also work a slightly hidden stitch. And if you're in doubt, count your double crochets from your treble and make sure that you have 23 over here. Now we're going to close on this first standing stitch, so I'm just going to pick up those 2 loops. You see here of the chain space, that's the that you don't want. I'm just going to pick up those top 2 loops from pulling the yarn over and pull through. That completes this round. I'm going to cut my yarn and I'm going to start a new round with a new color. Row 61, new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start in any chain 1 space, so your point. I'm going to start with a standing single crochet in that stitch, like so. Chain 1, and then make a second single crochet in that same space. That's your new point made. You're going to start by making a series of back post single crochets on the first 21 stitches. So especially the first one, be mindful of that first one because this one's somehow easy to skip. So around that first post, make a back post single crochet. So that's 1. You're going to do this in total 21 times. That's 2, 3, this is 4. You're making a nice edge here. It's 4. So continue until you have 21. 5, 6. And this is number 20 and 21 back post. There we go, back post single crochets. Number 21 is in your back post. That's a checkpoint for you. It's in your back post stitch that caught all your long stitches together. So that's going to be, if you look all the way down, that's going to be the stitch where you're in at the moment. It's number 21. We're going to continue by making half doubles, and at this point we're going to skip over to front post stitches. So these 21 stitches were back post. Now we're going to do front post. So be mindful of this step. So the next stitch is going to be this one here. It's a front post half double. So you're going to do 3 half doubles on the next 3 stitches. It's 2, 3 front post half double crochets. So you can see how you was back post and now you're going front post. 3 front post double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and then this is number 3. 3 front post double crochets. And now we're going to make front post trebles. Just move my work. We're going to do 21 front post trebles. It's twice over. On the next stitch, make your first treble. So 1, you're going to do 19 and 2, 3. This is number 18 and 19. Here we go, 19 front post trebles. We're now going to do on this side the same we did on that side. So it won't surprise you that we're now going to do 3 front post double crochets. 1 on the next 3 stitches, 2, 3, followed by 3 half double crochets, front post. So 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Let me just fold everything back again. And at this point your next stitch should again be the stitch, if you look down, that goes into the front post treble or double crochet that brings all your long stitches together. So this is again a checkpoint for you, because this next stitch is going to be the first of back post single crochets again, 21, to bring us to the corner. So your next stitch is a back post stitch. There we go. Back post single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3. Going to do 21, 4, 20, and then 21 should be your last stitch before you get to the chain space. And if this is not number 21, 21, then most probably something went wrong here whilst going from the front post to the back post stitches, that you, for example, accidentally skipped 1 stitch too many or too few. So especially this point is a point where it can go wrong. So you've just done 21 back post single crochets. Now you're onto your corner again, and here you work a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet in that same space. You're now exactly at the same point where we started with that standing single crochet. That's this point here. Go all the way around, and when you get to this point, close here with a slip stitch on that first standing single crochet. The next round I'll be using the same color yarn. In this first standing single crochet, so you're going to move to the chain 1 space that's next to it with a slip stitch. So you see that there, and there's your chain 1 space. Going to go in there with a slip stitch. So now you're in the chain 1 space. Going to work a single crochet, chain 1 single crochet in here. To start with making a chain 1. This is just to get you to the correct height, doesn't count as a stitch. Then in that same space, punch your hook in there, work a single crochet, chain 1, and then another single crochet in that, all in that same space. There we go. So that's your new corner made. It looks a little scrumpy in here. If you look well, you see that's the chain 1, and that's a single crochet, and that's a single crochet. We're now going to start working in the single crochets from previous round, and we're going to make 19 single crochets. Especially this first one, that one there, be very mindful of it that you don't accidentally skip it. See, that's that first single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, I'm going to work 19, 4, 5, 6, 18, and this here is number 19. I have a few stitches left. Now I'm going to work 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2, and now you should have one back post single crochet left. You're going to work a double crochet in that stitch, like so. Now on all these front post stitches you have here, you're going to work a front post treble, so that's twice over. You're basically going to work one on each. You're going to work 31 in total. So around that first one, work a front post treble. So you're going to work 31, so that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 3 more left to go to get 31, and like I said, it's basically just on every front post stitch you do a front post treble. So if everything went right in the previous round, then everything will also be fine here, and you can just work a front post treble on every front post you already have. So that gives you 31 here in total, so this entire wave here. And now you're going to go back to the back post stitches again, these single crochets you have. You're going to work a double crochet in the first, and that's going to be this stitch here, so be mindful that you don't accidentally skip that. That's going to be your first back post single crochet. You work a double crochet in there, then 2 half doubles, and 2, and then in the next stitches, those will be 19. You work 19 single crochets. In the next stitch, that's 1, 2, going to work 19, 3, almost to the next chain 1 space, working the last single crochets, and then number 19 should bring you here. You see that's your chain 1 space, so that last number 19 is on this single crochet that forms your corner. It's number 19. Then in the chain 1 space, if you put it apart, you see that chain 1 space there. That's your chain 1 space. Work a single crochet, chain 1, and in the same space work a single crochet. And then this point is the same as the point where we just started. So you're going to continue here with those 19 single crochets and go all the way around, do all this background on every wave, and then when you get to the beginning, close with a slip stitch on that first single crochet. Round 63, and note on the color you're using this round, you might want to use a slightly darker color here, because in part 10 you'll also be using a background color which is a light color, and so I suggest that you use a dark color for this round that also made part of your highlight color for the next round. So I'm using a dark pink here because I want to use a lightish grey color in part 10 as my background color. So we're going to start in any chain 1 corner space. So that's a single crochet, the chain 1 single crochet. So punch your hook in there just below the chain 1 and work your single crochet in there. Chain 1 and make a second single crochet in that same space, like so. After the corner, we're going to work 21 back post single crochets, and especially this first one here, that one might be a little tricky to get into, and I know from experience that this is a hard one, that first one. So that's number 1, and if you have to just help it a little bit, and that's wrong because I have my yarn on the wrong side. Okay, that's number 2, and one by one on all these single crochets work a back post single crochet, So you're going to do 21, so this was number 3, 4, need to do a few more, and then this is number 20. Number 20 is on your last single crochet. And number 21, you have here 2 half double crochets. 21 is on that first half double crochet, so that's a checkpoint for you. Now to continue and work back post half double crochets on the next 2 stitches. So that's going to be on this half double you have here, you work a back post half double crochet, and you've got a double crochet, so you work a back post half double on that. And again we go a step up, so now we're going to work back post double crochets, and we're going to work 31. So that's basically going to be on all your trebles, you work a back post double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, and then this is number 31. 31 is on that first treble you have there. That's 31. So all your back post stitches, all 31 back post double crochets are on your trebles that you worked around before. You're now going to go again half a step down, so on the next stitch we're working a back post double crochet, no sorry, half double crochet, half double on the next stitch. So 1, and also on the second, and 2. And those 2 stitches you work 2 back post half doubles, and now you're again going to work back post singles on the next 21 stitches. So this is exactly the same as just after the point space, just in reverse order. So this is 2, 3, number 21 is going to bring you to the chain 1 corner space where you're going to work a new corner. So work 21 back post single crochets. Almost to the chain 1 space again. That last single crochet, be mindful, it's again a hard one. 21 back post single crochets worked on this edge here. Now you're onto your chain 1 space. In that chain 1 space work a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Now you're back at the beginning, so repeat everything that we've just done, all these single crochets, 2 half doubles, all the back post doubles, all the way, do them all the way around, and you get to the beginning, close with a slip stitch. When you've completed all your rounds, this is what your mandala looks like at the moment. Take a moment to block it, because I've also noticed that the last few rounds it's been wobbling a little bit. It's a little bit part of this part. It will flatten out later on, but if you feel comfortable you could choose to block your work at this point. Brings us to the end of part 9. Thank you for watching. Until next time.